Airports are strange places. On the surface, they're all about convenience and order. Bright lights, polished floors, smiling staff, and endless signs pointing you exactly where to go. But look closer, and the shine begins to fade. Behind the glass walls and duty-free shops lies an entire world of secrets that most travelers never see, and airlines would rather you never ask about. From subtle psychological tricks that guide your every step, to hidden policies and carefully orchestrated deceptions, the truth is that airports are designed for control, profit, and sometimes even surveillance. Let's pull back the curtain and step into that hidden world. Imagine yourself rushing through security, exhausted, a little stressed, and desperately hunting for a place to sit. You finally spot a row of seats, complete with charging ports, right in front of a security kiosk. Perfect, you think. A chance to breathe, charge your phone, and collect your thoughts. What you don't realize is that those chairs weren't placed there for comfort. They're part of a carefully mapped grid of surveillance. Cameras, microphones, and even the charging stations themselves are positioned to gather data. That free phone charge? It could mean plugging into a system that quietly reads your data, or at least tracks how long you stayed put. Airports are designed with psychology in mind, not just to move you, but to watch you. And speaking of movement, have you ever noticed how your pace changes when walking through an airport? One moment you're striding along on shiny tile, the next you're slowing down across a section of thick, soft carpet. That shift isn't just about interior design. It's a technique called cognitive friction. The change in flooring makes you instinctively slow down and relax. Why would airports want that? Because calmer passengers are easier to manage, easier to screen, and far less likely to cause disruptions. You thought the carpet was there for comfort. In truth, it's there to control the flow of your behavior. Then there's the matter of water. You've just cleared security, tossed your half-full bottle, and now you're parched. Luckily, a water fountain stands nearby. But before you lean in for that refreshing sip, consider this. Airport fountains are rarely sanitized with the same frequency you'd expect. In fact, studies have shown that some harbor more bacteria than the average public restroom. The buttons touched by hundreds of strangers, the spouts rarely scrubbed, the biofilm forming in the pipes, all of it adds up to an unpleasant cocktail. Buying overpriced bottled water stings your wallet, but in this case, it might save your immune system. And while you sip that water or munch on a quick snack, remember, you're never as anonymous as you think. Airport staff often know more about passengers than they let on. VIP travelers get flagged for special treatment, frequent flyers are tracked for their loyalty habits, and those who have ever caused a disruption may find themselves discreetly monitored the moment they walk in. The smiles at the check-in desk aren't just for service. They're part of a constant evaluation process. Every sigh, every complaint, every visible flash of anger can be quietly noted. You may think you've blended into the crowd, but for the staff, you've already been categorized. Meanwhile, your checked luggage isn't simply tossed on a conveyor belt and rolled onto the plane. Each bag takes a hidden journey through advanced explosive detection systems, X-ray scanners, and chemical sniffers that rival military tech. Machines peer not just into the shapes of your belongings, but the density, materials, and even chemical traces. Within seconds, the system decides whether your suitcase is ordinary or suspicious. To you, it's a bag full of socks and souvenirs. To them, it's a potential threat that must be cleared before it ever sees the cargo hold. But even if your bag makes it safely to the plane, that doesn't guarantee you will. Airlines have perfected the art of overbooking. They sell more tickets than there are seats, banking on the assumption that some passengers won't show up. When their gamble fails, you're the one left stranded at the gate, bumped despite having a confirmed seat. It's all legal, all calculated, and designed to squeeze maximum profit from every flight. That friendly gate agent who apologizes for the inconvenience is really smoothing over a system that's been stacked against you from the start. Sometimes the stakes get even higher. Death at 35,000 feet is rare, but it does happen. And when it does, you won't hear an announcement of panic. Instead, coded phrases like Jim Wilson or Operation Sunrise quietly ripple through the crew. These seemingly harmless words mask serious events, allowing staff to coordinate discreetly without alarming passengers. To you, it's just another calm flight. To them, it could be an emergency unfolding right in front of you, hidden behind layers of routine. And speaking of hidden costs, have you ever grabbed quick cash from an airport ATM? That convenience could be costing you more than you realize. Airports are notorious for sky-high withdrawal fees and brutal exchange rates. Sometimes as much as 10% of your money disappears in the process. And for international travelers using foreign cards, the losses are even worse. That just a little cash transaction might be one of the most expensive swipes of your trip. Better to plan ahead or resign yourself to paying for the privilege of convenience. If you think cash is the only thing being taken from you, consider what lurks on the very seat you're sitting in. Airplanes are deep cleaned far less often than most people realize. Between flights, crews perform quick surface wipes, but the real deep scrubs? Those can be weeks apart. The tray table in front of you, the one where you rest your snacks or even lean your head, has been found to carry more germs than a public restroom stall. Seat belts, armrests, window shades, all touched by hundreds and rarely disinfected thoroughly. Pack your own sanitizing wipes. It might be the difference between a smooth trip and an unwanted souvenir illness. Then there's food, or rather, the robbery that passes for food pricing. You know the drill. You're hungry, stuck in a terminal, and every kiosk seems to charge 5 times what you'd pay outside. Sandwiches at $14, bottled water at $6, candy bars at $5. Why? Because once you've passed security, you're trapped. No outside food vendors, no quick grocery stops. The monopoly means airports can charge whatever they like, and you'll pay because you have no choice. It's not convenience, it's economic captivity. And while you're paying premium prices, your lost luggage might be making someone else rich. Unclaimed bags don't sit in a back room forever. After a waiting period, they're auctioned off, often in bulk, to the highest bidder. Buyers walk away with mystery suitcases, not knowing what's inside. Sometimes it's valuable items, sometimes it's useless junk. For you, it's a loss. For someone else, it's a bizarre lottery. Your missing suitcase could very well be a stranger's surprise jackpot. As you wait for your flight, you might notice the frosted glass doors of an airport lounge, with well-dressed travelers relaxing inside. Many assume these spaces are exclusive to the wealthy or to elite frequent flyers. The truth? Many lounges offer day passes for reasonable fees, and some credit cards grant access automatically. While the masses struggle with hard chairs and overpriced coffee, a few steps away, others recline in quiet comfort with free drinks and food. The lounge isn't an unattainable luxury. It's a secret most travelers simply never ask about. Then comes the flight itself. When you land and hear the captain proudly announce, "We've arrived early," it feels like a win. But here's the trick. Many airlines deliberately pad their flight times. They schedule arrivals later than necessary so that even if the plane runs late, it still appears on time. This manipulation boosts on-time performance statistics and keeps complaints low. That early landing, in reality, it was carefully planned deception. Even in the cockpit, things aren't always what they seem. On long flights, it's common, even mandatory, for pilots to sleep. Rest breaks are taken in turns, sometimes in hidden compartments, sometimes in reclined seats. Autopilot manages much of the journey. It's a system designed for safety, but it's one airlines rarely advertise. Passengers imagine the pilot at the controls every second. The reality is that good pilots know when not to fly. And yet sometimes planes fly nearly empty, deliberately. Known as ghost flights, these runs happen to maintain airport slot rights. Regulations demand that airlines use their takeoff and landing slots or lose them to competitors. Rather than surrender valuable times, airlines occasionally send planes into the sky with only a handful of passengers. It's costly, wasteful, and absurd, but it protects long-term profits. Finally, after all the flights and frustrations, you land. You follow the herd to the nearest restroom, only to face the dirtiest, most overcrowded bathroom in the airport. Here's the overlooked secret. The cleanest restrooms are never the first ones you see. Walk just a little farther into the terminal, and you'll often find cleaner, quieter facilities. It's a small but powerful hack, a final reminder that in airports, appearances deceive, and the obvious choice is rarely the best one. But before we close, here's the bonus secret that ties everything together. Airports are designed not for travelers, but for profit. Every path you walk, every decision you make has been engineered. From the overpriced shops you're forced to pass after security, to the placement of rest areas, to the time your plane arrives early, the entire system is built to extract money while keeping you compliant. Airports are not neutral spaces. They are machines, efficient, calculated, and endlessly watching. So the next time you step into one, remember, you're not just a passenger, you're part of a carefully managed operation. The more you know these secrets, the less power they hold over you. Airports are full of surprises, and here's the truth. Most travelers are making big mistakes before they even set foot on the plane. They're unknowingly setting themselves up for delays, stress, and unnecessary hassle. From little-known hacks that make security a breeze, to clothing choices that secretly flag you at TSA, and even the luggage you pick. These are the kinds of details that can make or break your trip. Today, I'm not just sharing tips. I'll be laying out a complete 24-point pre-flight blueprint built on 15 airport secrets and 9 bonus strategies. These are the insider moves that could change the way you travel forever, turning that chaotic check-in and security process into a smooth, streamlined walkthrough. If you're tired of being that person fumbling at the metal detector, stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the ultimate guide to airport mastery. The Airport Security Accelerator, 15 secrets to shave minutes off your wait. The security line is the first major hurdle of any trip. Most people view it as a necessary evil, but pro travelers see it as a puzzle to be solved. Every item of clothing, every piece of jewelry, and every way you organize your gear has an impact on the speed of your transit. Here are the 15 secrets that will get you through faster than almost anyone else in line. Secret number 1, your jacket is the ultimate carry-on. The pocket arsenal strategy. Let's start with one of the most powerful travel hacks out there, a jacket with oversized, deep pockets. This isn't about style, it's about pure, unadulterated efficiency. Forget tiny decorative pockets. You want a practical utility garment that can hold all your high-frequency, pocket-stuffing essentials. Your passport, wallet, phone, keys, headphones, snacks, and even small electronics like a power bank. The genius of this strategy, which I call the pocket arsenal, becomes clear at the security scanner. When you reach the metal detector, instead of emptying your pants pockets, coat pockets, and fumbling with a small tray, you perform one smooth, synchronized move. Toss everything from your pants pockets into the jacket pockets, slide the jacket off, and place the entire thing into a single bin. The benefit: no fumbling with trays, no risk of forgetting small items, like a wedding ring or keys, and you stay organized the entire way. This single move can shave precious minutes off your security time, allowing you to breeze past the queue. When you're done, you grab the one bin, put your jacket on, and you're organized again. It's a total game changer. Secret number 2, shoes can make or break security. The slip-on rule. Your footwear is more important than you think. It's the anchor of your entire security process. Most people choose their shoes based on the weather or their destination, but a pro traveler chooses them based on TSA compliance. The disaster choices? Flip-flops? They're a disaster. Dangerous, easy to lose, and you'll be walking barefoot on dirty airport floors, exposing yourself to countless germs. Boots? Stylish, yes, but they are incredibly slow to remove and lace back up, immediately creating a bottleneck. The smart choice: wear slip-on sneakers or flats that are supportive, comfortable for walking, and quick to take off and put back on. You should be able to remove your shoes with minimal bending down. Bonus hack: always wear socks. This isn't just a comfort tip. They're your shield against the germs on the floor and the cold air conditioning. They maintain a hygienic barrier between your foot and the airport floor or shoes. Secret number 3, skip the belt drama, the non-accessory life. Belts are basically time bombs at security. That clunky buckle, it's guaranteed to set off alarms, forcing you to stop, take it off, put it in a bin, and then hold your pants up while you walk through the scanner. The fix: choose pants that fit perfectly without needing a belt. Think joggers, stretchy chinos, modern athleisure styles, or technical travel pants. The fewer accessories you have to remove, the faster you'll get through. If you absolutely must wear a belt, look into a T-safe friendly belt made of plastic, nylon, or composite materials that have no metal buckle. Secret number 4, layer smart with your base outfit. The public decency rule. Airports are famously unpredictable, scorching outside, freezing inside the terminal, and frigid on the plane. The key to airport clothing isn't one perfect outfit. It's a system of smart layers. The base layer: always wear something comfortable and light beneath your outerwear. A light t-shirt or breathable tank top works perfectly. The big mistake: wearing only a bulky hoodie or a sweatshirt with nothing underneath. If security makes you remove it for a closer inspection, or if the plane is unexpectedly hot, you'll be left standing awkwardly in public, potentially inappropriately dressed. The base layer is your insurance policy against an unexpected strip down. Secret number 5. Beware of excessive pockets. The simplicity mandate. Cargo pants, travel vests, multi-pocket jackets. They sound practical for storage, but at security, they're a nightmare and a major trigger for additional screening. Why they're a problem: every single pocket has to be physically checked or visually inspected by the security agent. Too many pockets invite extra screening, pat-downs, and a delay. The solution: keep your base outfit streamlined. Carry essentials in one easy-to-remove layer, like that big pocket jacket we talked about in secret number 1. Your clothing should be functional, not a collection of small storage compartments. Secret number 6. Ditch the jewelry and heavy metal. The minimalist approach. Big belt buckles, metal-studded jackets, oversized watches, and anything that jingles or shines will slow you down. Even layered necklaces or heavy bracelets can tangle and set off the metal detectors or the millimeter wave scanners. The strategy: keep jewelry minimal. Leave flashy or sentimental pieces at home, or pack them in your carry-on luggage. Less metal equals less hassle and fewer false alarms. If you want to wear jewelry at your destination, pack it securely and put it on after you pass security. Secret number 7. Clothing that raises red flags. The respect principle. Your outfit sends signals. This is about common sense and respecting the working environment of airport security. Offensive t-shirts, violent graphics, politically charged slogans, or overly revealing attire might earn you unwanted attention and delay. TSA agents' perspective. They are tasked with ensuring safety, and anything that suggests aggression or disruption is going to be scrutinized. They don't find crude or controversial statements funny. The rules: stick with neutral, comfortable, and innocuous clothing that won't create unnecessary issues. You want to be invisible to security, not a conversation piece. Secret number 8. Rethink skirts and flowy pants. The modesty layer. Maxi skirts, oversized harem pants, or super flowy outfits may feel comfortable, but their sheer volume can be problematic. They can get caught in trays, trip you up, and more importantly, they are sometimes flagged by scanners as hiding potential items, triggering extra screening and potentially an embarrassing pat-down. The compromise: if you must wear flowy clothing, always layer shorts, bike shorts, or leggings underneath. This is a modesty layer that ensures you're covered and minimizes scrutiny if security requires a closer look or a physical search. Secret number 9. The headphone hack. The unplugged moment. This sounds simple, but it's a tiny detail that makes a big difference in flow. Trying to listen to music or a podcast while juggling bins and emptying pockets is a recipe for delay. The pro move: take off your headphones, wired or wireless, before you even reach the beginning of the security conveyor belt. Keep them in your bag or jacket pocket until you're through the scanner. A small habit, a big difference in avoiding awkward delays and getting caught in the machinery. Secret number 10. Boots require a backup plan. The foot protection protocol. If boots are absolutely necessary for your trip, Perhaps for a hiking destination or a cold climate, don't walk barefoot through the security line. The backup. Bring a pair of disposable slip-ons or lightweight packable travel slippers and put them on as soon as you remove your boots. This is a tiny investment for a lot more comfort and hygiene. Alternatively, if your shoes aren't coming off, always choose simple ankle-height boots that can pass through the scanner without issue. Secret number 11. Stay flight comfort conscious. The all-day wear test. Passing TSA doesn't mean your outfit is flight approved. The airport is a marathon, and the flight is the final leg. The miseries, tight jeans, itchy fabrics, or stiff constricting jackets will leave you miserable mid-flight, especially on long-haul journeys where bloating and swelling are common. The priority. Prioritize comfort. Choose stretchy fabrics, breathable tops, and layers you can easily adjust based on the cabin temperature. Long flights are about survival and recovery, not runway fashion. You'll thank yourself when you're not fidgeting for 7 hours straight. Secret number 12. Keep snacks handy, but pack smart, the solid food rule. Here's one of the lesser-known airport secrets that saves you money and stress. TSA actually allows food through security, but only if it's solid. The green light. Granola bars, trail mix, crackers, sealed candy, pre-cut fruit, and sandwiches. No problem. Pack them in a clear plastic bag or an easily visible container so they don't look suspicious in the scanner. The red light. Avoid liquid or gel foods. Yogurt, peanut butter, soup, hummus, or applesauce. They fall under the 3.4-ounce, 100 milliliters, liquid rule and will be confiscated. Having your own snacks not only saves you from overpriced gate kiosks, but also keeps you energized and your blood sugar stable if your flight is delayed. Secret number 13. Water without paying airport prices, the hydration hack. You don't need to pay an extortionate $6 for a small bottle of water at the gate. This is perhaps the easiest money-saving hack in the entire airport. The method. Bring an empty, reusable water bottle. TSA doesn't allow liquids, but an empty container is perfectly fine. Once you're through security, just fill it up at a water fountain or a dedicated refill station. You'll stay hydrated throughout your journey, save cash, and be kinder to the environment by avoiding single-use plastic. Secret number 14. Check-in timing is everything. The 3-hour buffer. The perfect timing is a delicate balance. Arriving too late is stressful and risks missing your flight, but showing up way too early has its own drawbacks. You're left exhausted, restless, and wasting precious vacation time sitting around. The sweet spot. For domestic flights, aim to arrive about 2 hours before departure. For international flights, 3 hours is usually the perfect amount of time. The benefit. This gives you a crucial buffer for security lines, unexpected delays at the check-in counter, and even a quick, relaxed coffee stop, all without wasting half your day sitting aimlessly at the gate. If you have elite status or TSA PreCheck, you can shave 30 minutes off that time, but it's always safer to stick to the 3-hour international rule. Secret number 15. Be security-friendly with electronics, the flat lay folder. One of the easiest ways to get slowed down at TSA is fumbling with electronics. Laptops, tablets, e-readers, and large power banks, they all need to come out of your bag for separate scanning in most countries. The pro setup. Keep these items in an easy access, separate compartment in your bag. The ultimate pro move is to use a backpack with a TSA-friendly laptop sleeve that zips open flat, allowing the laptop to be scanned without even being removed. This system, sometimes called a flat lay folder, can make your entire line move smoother and ensures your expensive gear is never separated from you. When you place your bins on the conveyor belt, this electronics bin should always be placed first so it's waiting for you immediately after you clear the metal detector. Luggage defense tactics, 9 pro strategies to protect your checked bags. Getting through security is one thing, but what about your bag after you check it in and it disappears behind the curtains? Here's where most travelers let their guard down. Did you know millions of checked bags disappear every year, not just misplaced or delayed, but actively stolen? There's an entire underground industry profiting off luggage theft. Your defense strategy needs to be as robust as your security line strategy. Let's go over 9 simple strategies to keep your bags safe from the moment you hand them over to the airline. Strategy number 1. Pick the right bag, the hard-shell fortress. The luggage you choose is your first line of defense. Thieves love soft fabric bags that can be easily sliced open with a box cutter. The choice: opt for a hard-shell polycarbonate or aluminum suitcase with double or interlocking zippers. These materials are much harder to damage or pierce. The rigidity of the shell makes it an undesirable target. Strategy number 2. Avoid the pen trick, the anti-puncture zipper. This is a classic thief's move. A criminal can pop the teeth of a standard zipper with a simple ballpoint pen, steal contents, and then re-zip the bag, leaving no visible sign of entry. The defense: choose luggage with anti-puncture, double-coil zippers, also called anti-theft zippers, or better yet, a bag with latch-style non-zipper closures that snap shut and lock directly to the frame. Strategy number 3. Locks matter, the heavy-duty barrier. A flimsy decorative lock is worse than no lock, as it signals you have something valuable to protect. The quality: invest in TSA-approved, heavy-duty locks with a thick shackle. Even better, use cable locks to secure the zipper pulls not just to each other, but directly to a fixed point on the bag's frame. This makes it impossible for someone to simply tear the zipper off the track. Strategy number 4. Tamper evidence seals or tape, the visual deterrent. This is a cheap but powerful visual and physical deterrent. The method: purchase tamper evidence security seals or use a brightly colored, unique tape to seal all zippers and closure points. A thief will usually not bother breaking a seal, knowing that the damage will immediately alert airport staff and, more importantly, you that the bag was open. It forces them to move on to an easier target. Strategy number 5. Use tech, the real-time tracker. Technology has made bag security easier than ever. The gear: place a GPS tracker, like Apple AirTags or Samsung SmartTags, or a dedicated smart luggage tracker inside your bag. These devices give you real-time updates on your bag's location, which can be invaluable for finding a misplaced bag or, in the worst-case scenario, providing law enforcement with evidence of theft. Note: ensure the battery is within airline guidelines. Strategy number 6. Don't check valuables, the golden rule. This is the golden rule of travel security. If you can't afford to lose it, it does not go in a checked bag. Period. The essentials: your passport, cash, all forms of identification, electronics, laptops, cameras, tablets, irreplaceable medication, and jewelry must stay in your carry-on luggage, which is always under your direct supervision. Strategy number 7. Make your bag boring, the camouflage technique. Thieves are looking for bags that scream expensive contents. The flashy, brand-new luggage is a prime target. The look: do what you can to make your bag look old, average, and unappealing. Use a plain luggage cover, scuff it up, or use a pattern that doesn't stand out as a high-end brand. The goal is camouflage. You want them to skip your bag and choose the flashy designer one next to it. Strategy number 8. Document everything, the insurance backup. If the worst happens and your bag disappears forever, the recovery process is much simpler if you have your documentation ready. The prep: before you leave the house, take detailed photos of your bag, inside and out, and all of its contents. This documentation will be priceless for filing insurance claims with the airline or your travel insurance provider, providing concrete proof of loss. Strategy number 9. Travel insurance, the financial safety net. It's not exciting, but it's the ultimate financial safety net. The necessity: purchase a comprehensive travel insurance plan that includes coverage for lost or delayed luggage. While airline reimbursement is capped and often inadequate, travel insurance can cover the true replacement cost of your belongings, ensuring you don't absorb a major financial hit if your bag vanishes. So there you have it: 15 airport secrets that will transform the way you navigate security, and 9 pro strategies to protect your luggage like a seasoned jet setter. The biggest mistake a traveler can make is assuming the process is outside of their control. The master traveler understands that the entire journey, from the moment you pack to the moment you reclaim your bag, is a series of systems they can optimize and control. From the clothes you wear or don't wear, to how you pack your electronics, to the gear you invest in, every detail makes your journey smoother, faster, and safer. Travel doesn't have to be stressful. With the right tricks up your sleeve and a proactive, organized mindset, it can be faster, easier, and even a little fun. Now it's your turn. What's your single go-to airport hack that you swear by? Have you ever had a TSA horror story? Or did one of these luggage strategies save you from theft? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another travel tip. Go out there, conquer those airport lines, and safe travels. Picture this. You've checked in early, you've followed every rule, and you've done everything right. Yet somehow, your seat gets downgraded, your flight feels more expensive than it should, and you leave the airport wondering, how do airlines keep pulling this off? Well, the truth is, they've mastered the art of invisible influence. Every gate sign, every boarding group, even the way they phrase their announcements, it's all part of a carefully designed system meant to make you spend a little more, wait a little longer, and accept a little less. And unless you know how these tricks work, you'll fall for them every single time. So today I'm exposing 15 airport secrets airlines use to trick passengers, including a few updates for 2025 that even seasoned travelers miss. If you've been flying for years or you're a senior traveler trying to make each trip smoother, this video is going to change the way you see the airport forever. Because by the end, you won't just understand their system, you'll know how to quietly flip it in your favor. Secret number 1, the boarding group illusion. You know that feeling when you hear, "Now boarding group 1," and suddenly everyone rushes to the gate? That's not an accident. Airlines intentionally use boarding group language to trigger urgency, even though your assigned seat isn't going anywhere. Most travelers, especially seniors, assume boarding early means a better spot or faster service. But here's the truth. Unless you need extra assistance or overhead bin space, boarding early just means more time sitting in a cramped cabin. Hidden benefit, board last, and you'll often get empty rows or automatic upgrades from gate agents reassigning open seats. Insider hack. Wait near the counter until final boarding. If you notice an open seat up front, simply say, "I noticed a few open seats while boarding. Are any of those available before the doors close?" You'd be surprised how often that works. Secret number 2, the seat map shuffle. You've seen it. You go to select your seat online and half the map looks sold out. Rows are grayed out, prices are higher, and it feels like you've already missed your chance. But here's the secret. Many of those seats aren't actually booked. Airlines block them temporarily to influence seat purchases and hold space for elite or last-minute travelers. Hidden reason, it's psychological pressure. When you think only a few seats are left, you're more likely to pay for one. Action step, check again 24 hours before your flight. When airlines release held seats, you can often grab a premium spot for free that was unavailable the day before. Key phrase to remember, are there any standard seats that just opened up before check-in? It's simple, polite, and it works. Secret number 3, the assistance label advantage. If you're over 65 or have mobility challenges, this one's for you. Airlines quietly offer courtesy assistance tags, small notes on your booking that unlock faster boarding, personalized gate help, and even upgraded seating priority. The trick? They rarely advertise it, because once more passengers start requesting it, it slows their system down. To activate it, call your airline's special assistance desk, not the main line, and ask for a courtesy mobility tag to be added to your reservation. Hidden benefit. It doesn't label you as disabled. It simply signals staff to provide extra time and attention during boarding. And it often means pre-boarding without paying for priority access. Key takeaway phrase. Can you please note my reservation for courtesy boarding assistance? You'll be amazed how quickly things smooth out after that. Secret number 4, the check-in countdown trap. You've seen the emails. Check in now before seats run out. But here's what really happens when you rush. When you check in early online, airlines lock in your current fare and seat and remove your chance of benefiting from last-minute seat releases or upgrades. Insider scoop: high-status travelers often wait until check-in opens to pounce on freed-up premium seats. Action step: wait until the 24-hour mark to check in. Not earlier. That's when the best inventory reshuffles. And if you're at the airport, ask, have any complimentary upgrades opened up today? You'd be shocked how often they say yes, especially if you're polite and early. Secret number 5, the wheelchair priority loophole. This one's controversial because it's often abused. Airlines must prioritize passengers using wheelchairs for pre-boarding, and rightfully so. But here's the hidden secret. Some travelers request wheelchair service not for mobility needs, but for smoother airport flow. They get direct escort through security, skip long lines, and board early. Now, I'm not suggesting you fake a disability. That's unethical and unfair. But for seniors or anyone with legitimate fatigue, joint pain, or anxiety, it's completely valid to request this service. Hidden benefit: dedicated staff will escort you through the airport, help with bags, and ensure you're seated before the rush. The phrase to use is, I'd like to request wheelchair assistance from curb to gate. It's your right, and airlines are required by law to provide it free of charge. Secret number 6, the carry-on cage trick. Ever notice that metal luggage sizer by the gate? It's mostly for show. Airlines know most passengers won't risk confrontation, so they quietly enforce it selectively. Often, if your bag looks small enough, you'll walk right through. Hidden reason: they want to speed up boarding while still scaring some people into paying for baggage. Action step: always carry your bag by the handle instead of wheeling it past the gate agent. It looks smaller, and you'll almost never be stopped. Insider hack: if challenged, say, it fits in the overhead on my last flight with the same airline. Can I try it before checking it? That polite confidence usually gets you through. Secret number 7, the silent downgrade. This one stings. Sometimes you'll book a premium seat, aisle, front section, or even extra legroom, and notice it quietly changes after check-in. No alert, no refund, just reassigned. Why? Operational reshuffles. When airlines swap aircraft or consolidate flights, they move passengers automatically. And many never notice. Action step: always recheck your seat assignment after gate announcement. If it changed, calmly go to the desk and say, my seat seems to have been moved during the aircraft change. Could you please restore my original selection? They'll often fix it on the spot or upgrade you to something equivalent. Secret number 8, the baggage reweigh game. You know how they sometimes make you move items from one bag to another? Here's the twist. Scales aren't always calibrated evenly across the airport. Sometimes the check-in scale reads heavier than the service counter scale just 10 feet away. Hidden benefit: if your bag is slightly overweight, calmly say, could we please recheck the weight at a different counter? This one seems off. Half the time, you'll magically lose a pound or two. And avoid a $100 fee. Frequent flyers know this. Seniors deserve to too. Secret number 9, the early boarding mirage. Ever been offered priority boarding for $39? Here's the real story. Those early groups don't board into a better experience. They board into a slower line and spend longer sitting in a packed cabin. Insider reason: it's a profit booster disguised as convenience. The earlier you board, the more you feel like a VIP, but you're actually paying for the privilege of waiting longer. Hidden benefit: instead, check in normally and hover near the gate until final call. You'll breeze on without the crowd and often get staff attention if a seat opens up. Key takeaway phrase: are there any aisle seats open now that boarding's nearly complete? That timing trick alone has earned travelers free upgrades for years. Secret number 10, the involuntary bump bonus. Most people dread being bumped from a flight, but frequent flyers know it can be a goldmine. If you're flexible, volunteer early when flights are oversold. Airlines are required to offer compensation, and in 2025, U.S. Department of Transportation rules now allow cash payments up to 400% of your ticket value, often $800 to $1,200. Action step. At the gate say, if you need volunteers, I'm open to being rebooked. Could you note that? You'll be first in line for compensation, plus likely rebooked in premium economy or business class. Seniors especially benefit here. Rebooked flights often include hotel stays or upgraded comfort. Secret number 11, the silent meal switch. Ever order a meal on board and wonder why it's sold out before reaching your row? That's because airlines stock based on probability, not passengers. But here's the twist. They always carry a few special requested meals like low sodium, vegetarian, or diabetic options for medical or senior travelers. Insider hack. When booking, select one of these special meals. It ensures your food is loaded specifically for you. Hidden benefit. You'll be served earlier, and the food is often fresher than standard options. Key takeaway phrase. Can I please request a special meal option for my next flight? You don't need a medical reason, you just need to ask. Secret number 12, the lounge access loophole. Most people think lounges are only for first-class passengers. Not true. Many credit cards, senior travel programs, or even day passes can unlock access. But here's the trick. Lounges often allow complimentary entry during delays or long layovers, even without status. Action step. Politely ask the lounge agent, my flight's been delayed. Are you offering courtesy entry for affected passengers? You'd be surprised how often they say yes. It's part policy, part goodwill, and it turns a stressful wait into calm comfort. Secret number 13, the gate change gambit. Ever notice how gate changes are announced late, often after passengers have already started lining up? That's strategic. By delaying the announcement, airlines reduce the number of people who crowd early at the next gate, saving time and staff resources. Hidden benefit, use it to your advantage. When you hear standby or final call confusion, stay alert. Late gate changes often mean open seats, empty rows, or underbooked cabins. Head there fast and say, hi, I saw this flight just moved gates. Are there any last-minute seat openings? That timing often scores the quietest flights. Secret number 14, the refund window they don't mention. If you ever book a flight and find a lower fare within 24 hours, or realize you made a mistake, you can cancel for a full refund, no penalties. Most passengers don't know this, and airlines aren't rushing to remind you. This rule applies to all U.S. airlines and many international carriers. Action step, use it strategically. Book when prices seem high and recheck within 24 hours. If fares drop, cancel and rebook at the lower rate. Key phrase, I booked less than 24 hours ago. I'd like to cancel for a full refund under DOT rules. That one sentence can save hundreds. Secret number 15, the assumed compliance effect. This is the biggest one, and the one airlines quietly depend on. Most travelers simply accept what they're told at the counter or gate, assuming it's policy. But here's the truth. Many policies are guidelines, not laws. Whether it's seat reassignment, baggage fees, or flight changes, polite persistence almost always wins. Hidden benefit. When you question something calmly and confidently, staff often override the system in your favor because you're one of the few who ask. So the next time something feels unfair, try this phrase. Could you please check if there's any flexibility with that policy? 9 words that open more doors than most people realize. And if learning about these hidden systems makes you feel both shocked and empowered, that's exactly the point. Because every traveler deserves to understand how the game works. So if you love uncovering the travel tricks airlines quietly use, make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly, the channel built for travelers who want to fly smarter, not just cheaper. Conclusion. The next time you walk through an airport, look closer. The signs, the timing, the upgrades, none of it's random. It's all designed to guide your behavior. But once you see it, you can finally make the system work for you. Whether you're a seasoned frequent flyer or a senior traveler who values comfort over chaos, remember this. Convenience is not the same as fairness. Ask questions, stay calm, and never forget, airlines only win when you stay passive. So here's your master key phrase for today. Don't assume, confirm. It's simple, it's polite, and it quietly puts you back in control every time you fly. Now I want to hear from you. What's the most surprising airline trick you've ever noticed? Drop it in the comments below, because the best travel intel always comes from real travelers like you. And as always, until next time, fly smarter. Imagine this. You're at the airport, rolling your luggage toward the check-in counter, and a quiet thought crosses your mind. Flying feels different now, more stressful, more rushed, more complicated. But what if I told you there's an entire layer of air travel built specifically to make flying easier, safer, and more comfortable for seniors? Yet most people over 60 never use it? And the surprising part? Airlines don't openly advertise these options, not because they're trying to hide them, but because if every traveler knew what they were entitled to, the system would slow down, lines would get longer, and profit margins would shrink. The truth is, the travel industry quietly thrives on people not asking for what's already available to them. And seniors, especially those flying once or twice a year, are the most overlooked group of all. But not anymore. Because today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 17 powerful travel secrets every senior needs to know before flying. Secrets that can remove pain, cut stress, get you personalized help, unlock hidden comforts, and even get you priority-level treatment without being a frequent flyer. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to say, exactly when to ask, and exactly how to travel with confidence again, not uncertainty. So let's start with the first secret, because once you hear this one, your entire mindset about flying will shift. The first secret is simple. You don't need to struggle with airport walking distances ever again, and I mean ever. Most seniors think wheelchair assistance is only for people who can't walk. That's not true. It's actually designed for anyone who finds long distances painful, tiring, or difficult. And airports know their terminals require up to 2 miles of walking on a typical international route. But airlines won't tell you this unless you ask, partly because coordinating assistance costs money, and partly because the fewer people who request it, the smoother the operations. Here's what's important. Using wheelchair or mobility assistance isn't a sign of weakness. It's a smart travel strategy. You're taken through security faster, escorted directly to your gate, and often guided right to your seat. You save your energy for the actual trip, not the airport marathon. And if you've ever felt rushed, breathless, or uncomfortable navigating big terminals, this one option alone can transform your entire flying experience. Now, if that surprises you, wait until you hear the next one, because it connects directly to mobility, but you'd never know it. Most seniors don't realize they can board early, even without paying for priority boarding. Airlines keep this quiet because early boarding sells for a premium. But if you simply let the gate agent know you need a little extra time to get down the jet bridge or settle into your seat, you can board ahead of the crowd. No rush, no pressure, no elbows. You get time to place your bag, get comfortable, and breathe. And here's the part nobody mentions. Gate agents appreciate when travelers communicate early. It makes their job easier. They want everyone settled quickly and safely. If you've ever felt like the boarding process is too chaotic or too fast, this one privilege, which you already have, removes all of that. But the next secret is even better. Because early boarding is great, but what if you could make the actual seat you're boarding into more comfortable too? One of the most valuable yet least used secrets for seniors is this. Airlines can make your seat more accommodating if you ask. That might mean a bulkhead seat with extra legroom, an aisle seat for easier movement, or a seat closer to the front to avoid long walks inside the plane. These adjustments depend on availability, but the real key is timing. The earlier you make the request, ideally at check-in, the more flexibility the airline has. Most travelers don't know that airlines keep a handful of seats unassigned until the day of travel. They're not for the elite. They're for operational needs, and you can ask for one. Seniors, especially those 65 and older, get special consideration because comfort and safety matter more for mobility and circulation. And here's something almost nobody talks about. If you have a medical reason that makes certain seats better for you, mentioning that opens options that are normally unavailable. You don't need to show paperwork unless it's a very specific request. Just asking politely and clearly makes a huge difference. Now, speaking of comfort, this next secret is something even frequent travelers underestimate. Plane cabins dry out your body faster than most deserts on Earth. And that's not an exaggeration. For seniors, hydration affects circulation, joint comfort, and energy levels more dramatically than for younger travelers. What's surprising is that flight attendants can provide far more hydration support than you've ever been told. You're not limited to the tiny plastic cup. You can ask for bottled water. You can ask for a second bottle. You can ask for warm water. If you take medication, you can request water as soon as you sit down, even before the first service begins. If you're shy about asking, here's the insider truth. Flight attendants prefer helping you early. It prevents issues later in the flight. It reduces medical risks. It shows you're thinking ahead. And if you've ever felt lightheaded or stiff on a plane, this one change can make flying feel completely different. But hydration leads to another problem. And the next secret solves that problem better than anything else. The part no one warns seniors about is that airplane cabins can trigger circulation challenges, especially on flights longer than 3 hours. But there's a quiet accommodation airlines offer that almost no one knows. You can request in-seat stretching time or a quick aisle break, even during times when movement is limited. This doesn't mean walking around whenever you want. Safety rules still apply. But if you let the flight attendants know at the start of the flight that you need occasional movement to prevent discomfort, they'll allow you moments to stand or adjust yourself when it's safe. They may even guide you on ideal timing. And here's the best part. Flight attendants are trained to identify travelers who may need these privileges, but they take it seriously when you bring it up. It shows awareness, and they want you safe. But mobility isn't the only challenge seniors face on planes. There's a different, more frustrating issue, and airlines rarely address it unless you bring it up. Temperature control. Seniors feel temperature swings more intensely, and airplane cabins are notorious for fluctuating between too cold and too hot. But here's the secret. You can request blankets, extra blankets, or even a warm beverage outside of regular service, and you don't need to wait for the cart. Many seniors assume blankets are only provided at the start of a long-haul flight. Not true. They're stocked in overhead compartments and galley storage. If a cabin feels cold, you're allowed to ask. If you're too warm, flight attendants can adjust your air vent, help position your fan, or adjust airflow from above. Your comfort matters, and airlines know seniors regulate temperature differently. This ties directly into the next secret, one that can save your entire travel day from turning into a stressful mess. Most seniors don't know that medication is a protected item in air travel. You're allowed to bring all your medication, liquid or solid, in your carry-on without following normal liquid restrictions. Security officers know the policy, but they won't mention it unless you ask. You can even bring more medication than the typical 3.4-ounce rule allows if it's medically necessary. In addition, if you need to take medication at a specific time during the flight, flight attendants can give you water outside regular meal service, remind you if you request it, or knock discreetly if you're napping. This is one of those overlooked privileges that many seniors never take advantage of because they think it's an inconvenience. But airlines take medical needs seriously, and when you communicate early, the entire crew becomes your support system. Medication leads to another secret, one that protects your health in a completely different way. One of the best-kept senior travel secrets is that you can get priority screening through security if you have medical devices, mobility issues, or orthopedic discomfort. The TSA has a little-known program called TSA Cares, and most seniors don't even know it exists. With one phone call at least 72 hours before your flight, you can get someone assigned to escort you through security, explain procedures, and give you a smoother experience. You're also allowed to request a private screening, keep your shoes on if removing them is difficult, and avoid bending motions that cause pain. This is something airlines never talk about because TSA programs are separate and not heavily promoted. But if you've ever dreaded the security line, this program can feel like a completely different world. Now, if these secrets already feel like eye-openers, wait until you hear this next one. You can request assistance at every stage of your journey, not just the airport. That includes help getting from curb to check-in, assistance moving between terminals, help collecting luggage, escorting you through customs, help getting to your pickup ride or family member. Most seniors only ask for help at the airport entrance or gate, but assistance extends all the way from curb to plane and plane to curb. Airlines do this because they know senior travelers often fly to visit family, attend events, or travel long distances for important personal reasons. Stress reduction helps keep operations smooth, and that benefits everyone. Far too many seniors try to handle everything alone, and that leads to unnecessary fatigue. The truth is, asking for help isn't a burden. It's part of the service. And speaking of help, the next secret gives you VIP level treatment completely free. Most travelers think airport lounges are reserved for first-class passengers or people with expensive credit cards. But there's a hidden angle. Many lounges allow access for seniors during irregular operations or long delays, if you ask politely. They won't offer it automatically, but if your flight is delayed for 3 hours or more, or if you have mobility concerns, gate agents can issue what's known as a disruption pass. This pass grants temporary lounge access where you get comfortable seating, quiet atmosphere, clean bathrooms, free snacks and drinks, a stable place to rest. Airlines prefer seniors to wait in lounges when delays occur because it reduces crowding at the gate and minimizes stress for travelers. This sets up the next secret beautifully, because comfort doesn't end at the lounge door. Here's something most seniors overlook. You can request assistance with overhead bins, both at boarding and at landing. You don't need to lift a single bag over your head if it's uncomfortable. Flight attendants are trained and required to help. The reason they don't offer automatically is simple. Many travelers decline help, and airlines don't want to assume. But if you ask, they will help. Every time. Even better, if lifting your bag is difficult, you can request gate checking at no cost. This means your carry-on is placed under the plane, and you pick it up at the gate, not baggage claim. This leads directly to the next secret, because luggage isn't the only thing seniors struggle with. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to find your connecting gate, navigating unfamiliar airports, or dealing with short layovers, here's a secret that almost changes the entire travel experience. Connections for seniors can be extended by request. When booking through an airline directly, not a third-party website, you can ask for longer connection times. Airlines allow it because they know mobility needs vary from person to person. Most travelers think layover times are fixed. Not true. Airlines have internal guidelines for seniors, and if you simply mention that you prefer a slower pace between flights, agents can find routes that give you comfortable transfer windows. This protection also applies during airline rebooking. If you say you need extra time to change planes, they'll avoid assigning you tight connections. Now, if mobility, comfort, and assistance matter, you're going to love this next secret because it's about something that frustrates senior travelers the most. Noise, constant noise, crying babies, loud engines, slamming bins. Seniors are more sensitive to noise disruptions, especially during long flights. But here's the secret. You can request a quieter zone or a seat further away from high-traffic areas if you ask early. Flight attendants know which seats experience less foot traffic, fewer conversations, and less galley noise. They're not labeled officially as quiet zones on most airlines, but they exist, and crews know exactly where they are. If you hate noise or have trouble resting on flights, this secret changes everything. And speaking of rest, this next secret is one of the most quietly powerful perks available. On long flights, seniors can request additional pillows for lumbar support, neck comfort, or cushioning. Airlines don't advertise this because they don't stock enough for every passenger, but they prioritize seniors who ask early. Pillows make an enormous difference in joint comfort and circulation, especially during overnight flights. If you've ever felt stiff or exhausted after flying, this one adjustment can turn a draining flight into a manageable one. And all of these comfort secrets lead perfectly into this next one that almost no senior traveler knows. If you have hearing aids, cochlear implants, or trouble hearing announcements, you can request direct communication from flight attendants or gate agents. That means gate agents will come to you for important announcements. Flight attendants will notify you before service begins. Someone will inform you about delays, gate changes, or boarding calls. This service exists because airlines are required to make essential information accessible. But again, it only happens when you ask. This brings us close to the final set of secrets. But before we continue, let me say this. If you love uncovering hidden travel perks like these, the kind of insider knowledge that makes flying easier, safer, and more comfortable, make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly. This channel is built for travelers who want to fly smarter, not just cheaper, and seniors deserve that more than anyone. Now let's keep going, because the next secrets tie everything together. If you've ever been worried about missing a flight, getting lost in a big airport, or feeling rushed at boarding, here's something game-changing. Airlines offer meet and assist services for seniors traveling alone. Staff can walk with you all the way from curb to aircraft door. This is different from wheelchair service. It's for seniors who are mobile but prefer guidance, and it's 100% free. Families often don't know this service exists, so seniors end up navigating stressful airports alone. But once you've used Meet and Assist once, you'll never travel without it again. This next one is similar, but it solves a very different problem. If you ever struggle with airport technology, electronic kiosks, mobile boarding passes, self-tagging kiosks, here's something important. You are not required to use any of it. Quietly, airlines still offer full-service check-in for seniors, even when the airport is mostly automated. In fact, staff are trained to help seniors bypass the self-service machines entirely. Airlines don't advertise this because they want more people using kiosks, but seniors are exempt from the self-service push. Just walk to the counter and say you need assisted check-in. You'll get a human, not a machine. And now for one of my personal favorite secrets. If you're a senior traveling with family, children, grandchildren, or even just one additional person, you can request family seating under a little-known policy. Airlines often block seats to ensure families with seniors aren't separated. This doesn't work 100% of the time on full flights, but you'd be surprised how often agents make it happen. This is especially valuable if you need help storing your bag, adjusting your seat, or accessing your medication. Traveling together matters, and airlines know the risks when seniors sit too far from their support companions. Now for the final secret, the one that ties every insight together. Seniors can request special handling for the entire journey, from booking to baggage claim. Special handling is an internal airline designation that alerts staff across the trip that you need extra time, guidance, mobility support, check-in assistance, boarding accommodations, help at arrival. Most people think this is only for passengers with visible medical needs, but no, it exists for seniors who simply prefer a smoother, calmer experience. This one request turns flying from stressful into supported. Now let's bring this home. For years, seniors have been told to keep up, move faster, figure it out, or get used to it. But air travel wasn't built with senior comfort in mind. And that's exactly why these 17 secrets exist. Not because airlines are generous, but because you deserve support. You deserve comfort. You deserve calm. You deserve a travel experience that respects your pace, your body, and your needs. So here's the master mindset to carry with you. Flying as a senior isn't about trying harder. It's about asking confidently, ask early, ask clearly, and know that every service I mentioned today already exists for you. Before we close, I want to ask you one thing. What's the best free comfort or perk you've ever received on a flight? Share it in the comments. Your story might help another senior traveler fly smarter on their next trip. And if you want more insider travel intelligence, the kind airlines will never advertise, make sure you subscribe and join this community of smart, confident travelers. Until next time, fly smarter.